government agencies, individuals in the private sector and the media to promote good menstrual hygiene management for all women and girls. Menstrual Hygiene Day was designated as a global advocacy platform.
Now, poor menstrual hygiene caused by a lack of education on the issue, persisting taboos and stigma, limited access to hygienic menstrual products and poor sanitation infrastructure undermines the educational opportunities, health and overall social status of women and girls around the world. As a result, millions of women and girls are kept from reaching their full potential.
Now, during the month of May, efforts are specifically dedicated to breaking the silence, raising awareness, and changing negative social norms around menstrual hygiene management. And during this time, decision makers also engaged to increase the political priority and catalyze action for menstrual hygiene management at global, national, and local levels. Now, Ms. Zahara Namanda, who is the country director for Africa Education and Leadership Initiative, is one of the people who have heeded to this call, and she's here with us this morning to teach us how to make reusable pads, sanitary towels. Now, I know a number of you want to cover your eyes, but please do not cover your eyes. If you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a boy, if you're a girl, if you think it doesn't concern you, take a minute and be a part of this with us.
Okay, so let's get started. This morning we are going to make reusable pads, and she's been making reusable pads for disadvantaged girls. So in case you wanted to join those that Rita was talking about, that you want to cover your eyes, this is a good cause, and this is very, very good help for the ladies, the girls out there that unfortunately are not as immunized as you are and cannot get the funds to get these pads. And I have 1,000 questions, but we'll first get welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. The first question I'm going to ask is, why did you decide? Because many people, we've had many on this table, they simply come up and say, Rita, Mala, David, we're looking for pads for disadvantaged girls. Let's raise money. We buy boxes and take them there. Why did you decide to choose the other route?
I believe menstrual hygiene is actually a very pertinent issue, especially to vulnerable girls in the remote areas. So as we see in Kampala, accessibility is very easy, but as you go to the remote communities, even parents do not earn $1 in a day. So imagine if a sanitary towel costs over $1, then how is it going to be made? So I decided that as a vulnerability is due to income, I decided to actually say that maybe hand stitching would be the other way, so everyone can be in position to actually stitch their own sanitary pad and anytime they need it. So that is why I actually took that route other than the other way.
Okay, so we need to get accustomed to the things or the materials that you use here, and I'll let Rita introduce that gadget right there as I introduce the others. So yes, here we have our threads. That is what we're going to be using today. These are the needles.
These are
careful,
the
David.
needles. Yeah, right here we have the needles.
The cloth. Yeah, this is the cloth. It's actually,
this is where you cut from.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be cotton. But this is what I had just for a demonstration.
Okay, so it's supposed to be cotton.
Yes, cotton.
100%.
100% cotton.
Is this what we have here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Close to this?
No, this is the same
exactly
as
like that.
yeah.
Okay.
And then this.
This is we call it cavera, but it's what is supposed to be inside to actually contain the blood from staining outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you underwear. In case you have never seen it before, this is your first time. Congratulations. Me too, it's my first time. So yeah, let me put
so
this
the purpose of the knicker is to help us fit the pad after we're done with making one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of pieces of cloth that have been cut out. This is a designer one, I think.
Okay, this is a design. Actually, no, this is not for a slave queen. This is also a sanitary pad where you keep on changing. This is already a made sanitary pad.
Did you say change?
Yes. So these are the clothes that you can keep inserting inside to keep on changing. Yeah. So in a day you can use like 6 or 4. Yeah. So this is the reason why I actually brought it. So here you put it.
This one is a reusable pad where all you have to do is change the inner cloth.
Exactly. So if your floor is very high, it means the inner cloth also has to be heavier so that it can be able to contain the blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into making one of the reusables, because we seem to see all these things and someone is wondering, okay, how do we make it?
Yeah.
First,
Where do we start?
I have this cardboard with me.
Yes, the cardboard is what is going to help us to actually cut out the pattern. Yeah, most of the times you have to measure the different length, so that you are able to stitch a sanitary pad that really fits you, because we have different sizes, and so if you're small you would not opt for a bigger size of a sanitary pad just for comfortability.
But just there, when you're starting, you say different sizes. If someone is at home right now and they want to follow you as we make this pad this morning, so how do you come up with this size? How do you come up with a size like this? Because this is bigger than that and this one is slightly smaller. How do you come up with these sizes?
Okay, so most of the times I have, initially I measured, but now I just look at somebody's size and I can just draw it out right there.
You're a pro like that.
How long have you been doing this?
I started training in 2016.
Wow.
So meaning each and every one of us can start our training today on Morning at NTV 2019. Let us get started. Clearly David is really the team player, handing us all that we need.
Exactly.
I'll handle you the needles later.
Okay, so this is our cloth that we are going to use while demonstrating. It is not 100% cotton.
But remember, they did tell us that it's supposed to be 100%
cotton is better.
Okay.
So everyone is actually going to cut out.
Okay.
Yes, I will make sure I help all my friends.
Do I have 2 markers here? If you have a pen, you can actually use a pen.
Okay. You have a pen?
So you cut out 2 of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first we draw it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a time to test our art in school. We used to draw that castic girl instead of drawing real art. This is the point.
So the use of this is actually to make it easier, because most of the times people can't cut out the patterns very easily. So
what we want to achieve is that it should look like that at the end of all this.
It should look like
that?
Quite like this.
Okay.
Like this.
Yeah, like this.
But this one, it looks more sassy, hey?
Yeah, I told you. This is, I think she wants to make one like this.
Yeah.
This is the sassy one, yeah. So this is what we are aiming to get. This
something close.
Yes.
something close to this.
All right.
Remember, you have to make 2 of this.
Yeah.
So Zahara, we cut it out now?
Second one.
Yeah, you can draw the second one and then you cut at once.
David is quite the teacher this morning.
Yes.
So Zahara, as we do this, do you, when you're done teaching the girls, they go ahead to now start making this themselves?
Yes, and most of the times in the schools where we have actually done the trainings, we have left material for the girls and we have created clubs for them to keep practicing and also making their reusables and also to get support from their own teachers. Yeah.
What's the uptake like? How many schools have you been able to train?
I have trained 30 schools.
All right.
30 schools?
Yeah.
Within Kampala or outside?
Outside Kampala. I've been in Kitgum, I've been in Nebi, I've been in Kweni district. I've also been in Arua and part of Karamoja region.
Are the people welcoming when you get into these regions? Because, you know, you know, sometimes people are just not accepting of just someone coming in to teach their daughters how to make things like this. Are they welcoming?
Yeah, most of them are very welcoming because I work with schools. But as you go to the community, you know the different taboos, the different beliefs. Especially I found that in Karamoja, where there was a lot of resistance. So.
And as we-
Resistance with regards to what? What are they saying?
You know, they have their own beliefs, and for a girl, you're actually not supposed to attend school because during menstruation, you have to be at home and sit in the sun. That is how your blood flows down in the sun. You know how hot it
a
is.
child literally stays home because they're going through their period.
Yeah, that is their belief, and they have to sit in the sand.
How do you get past that?
What do you mean?
How do you get past that? Someone that believes that menstrual periods should be treated that way.
Yeah, of course.
To them accepting that one needs to learn how to make their own pads, and that's what they should use.
Yeah, like in most of the times, of course, culture is also a key issue in the society. And most times you will not just bring your changes or transformation and people will just go
Some
with
things
them.
you have to accept.
Yeah, there are certain things you have to accept and work with the leaders, the cultural leaders, to sensitize them such that they are able to also understand the usage of, let me say, a project like this. At the end of it all, they actually learn the advantages.
Okay. And have you been able to also get to the parents, those as well?
To the parents.
How do you get to the parents?
We've always had focus group discussions with the parents, and since we have like PTA in schools, so those have also been very helpful on our side.
What of religious institutions? Because they're also an influential factor in society and the change of mindsets.
Yeah.
So have you tried to work with any churches, for example?
I've actually not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you plan to do so?
Maybe in the future.
And when we get to making these sanitary towels, by the time we get to finish, how often do they have to make new ones? Because I can imagine eventually after a while you need to buy so that infections are not possible.
Yeah, they keep making the sanitary pads because even in, let me say, in a period I may need like 7 of them just to keep my hygiene right.
I recommend the Slay Queen version there.
Where you
the
keep
reusable.
changing, yeah.
So Zahara, see, we're going to make this one and maybe something similar to this. So what's the durability of this one?
Most of the times you can use that for like 4 times. 4 times. Okay,
That means 4 months?
The one that...
Yes,
4 months each
4 months.
for 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months, but that means you're using it 4 months, but you're having like 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that you keep changing. Yeah.
So for every one cycle you need 4?
Yes, for every one cycle you need 4.
What if your cycle is heavier and
You
takes longer?
You keep changing the inner clothes.
And what about washing? Because in some of these areas, even just access to soap. How do they wash these
Yeah,
pads?
sometimes it's a very big challenge. Access to soap, access to water, and then, so that is sometimes a very big problem. And most of the times how we do it is like just collaborating with the school and ensuring that at least the girls are able to access water, because if there is no water, you don't expect like good menstrual hygiene management. Yeah.
And bring the boys on board, because when it comes to menstrual hygiene, it's not just a girls thing. I mean, we have David here with us, but the boys, let's say for girls stains, how do you actually go ahead and maybe help her and not laugh at her? Because if you're in a community where, first of all, a girl is supposed to stay home and sit in the sun till her cycle is done, having her at school and then seeing her stain her dress is definitely something new to them. So bring the boys on board with this.
Yeah, so what we have done, just like I said, we actually initiate clubs in school. So the clubs are made up of boys, male teachers, female teachers, and that is one way of actually sensitizing the whole school, because comfort is very important. And most of the times, as a girl child has blood stains, of course most of the times it's the boys who will actually be attracted to look at it. So if they don't know about menstruation, then they would actually think there is a problem.
Right.
Yeah, so that is what we have done as a group that is advocating for menstrual hygiene.
I don't know if you have realized, but this morning I've just found out of the skill I have. I'm very good with scissors.
David, I don't think that
Just because
the
you made
ladies
your
are
first
still struggling, but I'm already through and through.
Yeah.
So I think you might just need to hire me to come along
Okay, help
with
me
you.
here then.
I thought so.
But you know, when David says he's good with scissors, that means David might have been one of those distraction.
I think I was meant to be a tailor or something.
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
now we know your side hustle.
Yeah, I should now seriously consider becoming a tailor. See, done.
Right.
Thank you.
So
So
after that is
phase
done,
1 has been
before
completed.
you take that
Okay.
away, we still did it.
Oh, we still
Okay.
need some
So-
more cloth.
Everyone is actually going to draw, still put this again,
Okay.
and then you will only take this side, the middle side.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then that still you may have to take like 2 of them or
of them?
3.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 or 3.
So should we
Yeah.
do 3 to be
Yes,
on the safer
let's
side?
do 3.
Okay, good.
So do we
Okay.
just fold
So, David,
that
continue.
we just cut once?
Yeah.
Can we fold? So
Yeah,
that we just
you can
cut
fold
once?
exactly.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
See?
Yeah.
We went to university.
Yes, we did.
This businesswoman here, she wants to make things easy,
Simplify.
simplifying things. Okay, there we go.
Just do this.
Wow.
You realize that this pattern is actually different from this.
So this is you are not taking the sides. You're
Yeah,
only
yeah,
taking.
just the
Yeah.
center.
Okay. So you can
Okay,
that.
so
Yes.
you can just cut.
Dear.
You can just print the second one.
Yeah. So
Do we have, like,
use
pins?
this?
Cut this.
Do we? Oh, now Mala needs pins for this.
No. I did home science, by the way, so this is not new to me. We used to make dresses from scratch.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was really nice.
yeah. Home economics.
So Malai will get us a dress as well.
So you want to make a
Talk
dress?
to me
So
nicely.
wait
Yeah.
before you do this. So,
Oh, you want to fold it to the other
yeah.
side.
So
Okay.
continue like up to here.
How long does it take you to make one? You, the professional in this.
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes, you have one already
Yeah.
done. Okay.
So we can actually make another one from here. You see, this is not a heavy cloth. Yeah, so wait, don't cut. Let's do this. Fold from here, and then we can. Yeah.
Okay.
And also neatness. You know, a number of times as you handle this, where does the hygiene come? Because where you cut from, how
Yeah.
clean your hands are, where does that come in? Because could you eventually pick up an infection from the way you've made your pad? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's very possible because sometimes if you don't stitch it very well, just imagine exposing the inner side to to different, let me say, infections. Then it is very easy to actually contact an infection.
So is there like a rule when it comes to cleaning these pads?
Yeah, you rinse with normal soap. You may not
What
use
is normal soap?
like the bar soap,
Okay.
white star.
Detergent?
No, white star,
Not detergent.
not detergent like Omo.
Yes.
Yeah, so you.
Why not? Maybe. Someone might ask, why not?
Yeah, because you know we are using this polythene paper, and sometimes it actually gets weakened.
Okay.
Yeah, due to the detergent. Yeah,
But that means also rinsing it very, very carefully
yeah,
to
rinsing
take out
it.
the soap.
Yeah, to take out the soap as well. Yeah, so leaving it for some time, and then that blood actually gets out, and then after you wash it normally and then hang it, it may not be in direct sun, maybe in a place that is cool, but it will actually dry very well.
Okay.
So while putting it on, you don't iron it, because once you iron it, there is a polythene paper inside.
It's gonna burn.
Yeah, it may burn. And anyone has to put it on when it's really well dry.
So no direct sunlight.
Yeah, not direct sunlight. It's not actually required.
Okay. So,
So keep cutting.
oh, we need to cut a third one. Okay.
The girls are neat in cutting.
We're trying.
They're being girls.
We're trying.
They're being girls. That's what girls do.
Well, David will just cut.
That's a stereotype.
Exactly. A man can also be neat.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
I hope we're listening.
With the help of Madame.
So we need 3 for this middle section.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
So can I take this?
Just be patient,
okay.
David.
See?
We're
Precision.
still growing on and
So
strong.
actually, David is going to make mine.
Okay, so
You're joking.
David, let's go. Please start us off.
Okay, good. That's good. Then I can get home and make one for my sisters.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes we've only actually
this.
made 3, but sometimes if you really feel you have heavy monthly flow, you can actually put more.
Okay.
So where is our Kavera? It's here.
Right there.
Yeah. So we will actually also measure and cut. There are so many ways you can go about stitching a sanitary pad, and there are so many different designs. Yeah, so this is one of the easiest actually we made because of time. And
Do you need this or this? Which
we need
of the
this. We need this.
The
two? You need
straight one.
this.
Yeah, the straight one, because the polythene will actually go
in the middle.
not in the middle here, because this is the part, the downer part of.
Okay.
So you have to measure, and while measuring, you ensure that there is at least
Extra
more
space.
extra space, because you will have to fold it such that it
Okay.
can go into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make sure it has extra
Put it
space to it.
There.
Yeah.
Like
This
half
space
an
enough?
inch?
Yes, that space is enough.
I think I'm set. This is the
My
real
love
enough.
feels that, yes. And you need how many of these? Just one?
Yes, just one.
Both even on the sides?
Yes, even on the side.
Okay.
You can. Yeah.
Yes. Is this good?
The moment you lose your scissor,
Sorry, I'm
can't
almost
find
done.
it.
Let me lend you mine.
David might have cleared it.
Yes.
Well, in case you're just joining on the conversation this morning, we're in our Tech Note segment where we're trying to make a reusable sanitary towel. You at home can do it. All we have learned is that you need cotton. You also definitely need a cardboard that has the shape of, yes, Mala has one in her hand. It should look something like this. Now, you also need something that is, one would say a kavera, but another person would say something that will be able to absorb the liquid.
Yeah.
When you have that, get your piece of cloth and start to cut using this shape. You make 2 of these, one for this side and one from the other, by first of all tracing this shape on that piece of cloth. Cut it with a scissor. Remember, first of all, in the area within which you're cutting from, it should be clean.
Sorry.
Yes. When you're done with that, we're on to the second part of making sure that the middle bit that we have cut out, we can now also cut the water. Can we say waterproof? Can we call this waterproof?
Yeah,
The waterproof material, and it is being cut as we speak. I'm joining in now as well to cut mine. And remember that it should be slightly bigger than the piece that you have cut.
You would actually wish to have something that is going to.
So Zahara,
Okay, so after you're done, insert the waterproof material between the last.
The last and the top 2.
Yes, and the
Okay.
top 2.
All right.
Okay. There we go.
There.
Okay, so I think you have left a very big.
Space.
Imagine.
Yeah.
All right.
But
we
it's
need
okay.
to cut.
Yeah, you can cut it just a
right.
little bit.
So it needs to be less than half an inch.
Half an inch.
Like
the
the,
sides?
the extra margin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we just want to ensure that it's well attached to the cloth and it's not exposed.
Okay.
I hope with the crookedness this will still do.
Yeah, it will do because you can still shape it.
Is this okay?
Yes, that is very fine.
All right.
And if sometimes you don't feel it's fine, then you can as well cut another cloth that is
it's
just enough.
huge.
Exactly.
Alright.
So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Have
Okay,
our
so now
needles.
let's get this out of the way.
David is doing a good job clearing.
Okay, so when you
That's the best I
actually
can do
touch
now.
this, you realize that it's a little bit light because of the light material. But if it is a cotton material, you feel
It'll be
that it's
a lot
heavy
heavier.
and you feel safe and you feel you will be comfortable at the end of the sanitary pad stitching and maybe when you're going to use it.
Okay, so the fact that the sewing will take longer, we don't want to take you through all that pain of the sewing. But now that we have gotten to this stage where we have one cloth and then two, and then the polythene in the middle, you have to fold it and then start your stitching. This here is a version of one that has already taken on the process of stitching. So we're going to let Rita and Mala do the stitching. And not very
But
good
due
at
to time,
stitching as
David,
well.
let's now take a look.
Yeah.
Where does this go with this
Where
that is
does-
done?
Yeah.
Okay, so we see, do you realize this is really heavy inside?
Yes.
But, okay, this was just for demonstration. You realize that this is having a very short wing, which sometimes may actually not fit under. So if you have, let me say, a button of this kind, you may not feel comfortable that much. So the wing has to be quite a little bit longer. So as we are on this tape, like we have our waterproof material in between, and then we have the two cloths, cut patterns, then you have to actually fold it properly. Inside, the waterproof material has to be inside the three cloths, and then you start the stitching of only this. Then after you're done with this,
So it would look something like this if it was with cotton.
Exactly, so it would look like this. So when you're done with this, if you really want, you are going to actually get this and then put on top of this, and also get this
underneath,
and then you sew again. You realize that you have a more heavier sanitary.
So this is when we get to this part that you have put those two on top of this already done bit, and then now you start to stitch it.
You don't need to stitch here.
Where do you stitch?
You stitch just around.
So this is this part. You start to stitch around
that
here.
part, because we have catered already for the inner part. It's already stitched and it will be attached at the sides.
Yes.
Okay.
So this will just be helping us to actually get a button and then press it behind.
So
yeah,
this is what would happen.
exactly.
What I'm learning is
And
that
it is held
there's room for
the
creativity.
underwear.
Yes,
There's room for creativity.
a lot of creativity.
Yes.
You can create a couple of them, as we have already seen.
Exactly.
There's this.
There's actually a
this,
different one. You say
this,
that
and
you
then
can
the
take,
sequin version.
you can put it in.
Exactly.
I don't know
So
if it's
here,
This is the one.
this is just like a cloth, like it's a demonstrator. It's a cloth, and if your floor is heavier, you just have to
You can
insert
put
it
this.
here. Exactly. So let me say you have a heavy floor. Okay, this wouldn't work, but it's a heavy material. So you just have to insert here, then here,
And you're good to go.
and you're very good to go. So
Wow.
Wow.
this is what comes out, and then you tie your button behind, and you will move like very comfortably, just like a normal sanitary pad. So you don't have to worry that it may fall like a cloth, or
Yeah.
how am I going to walk?
The leaks.
Yeah, have I stained? Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you
Thank you so much. We have been joined by Miss Zahara
Yes.
Namanda.
yes.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have learned a thing or two, and David is definitely going to take us through this one.
Yes,
in a bit.
I've avoided the needles, but we have a session that's going to get into the needles. I'll talk it later. But
So,
thank you very much. This
always-
is quite impressive.
Yes.
A big lesson to learn this morning.
If you now know the reusable, once you make yours, make sure you do it with clean hands, with clean material, and when it comes to washing them, make sure you wash them with soap, not washing detergent. And when you do not put them directly under the sun.
And let them dry.
Yes.
Yeah, and use them while they are dried. And most of the times at the end of it all, while stitching, we always make small bags, where sometimes even if like you are changing like this cloth, you don't have to worry, where am I going to keep it? You keep putting it in the bag, so when you get home you are having enough time to actually wash your towels and then reuse them again after they are well dried. And then maybe the other thing that I've actually found in the different different communities that there is really no space for the girls to actually feel comfortable and change their sanitary pads, and then the toilets are not that much comfortable for them, especially in the UPE schools, because there is a number of children. So if I'm lining up to actually use a toilet and the other party is very worried to actually go and change their sanitary pad, then just imagine a scenario of a girl who is actually stigmatized. Yeah, so there are so many challenges we as advocates need to actually tackle, but I know sometimes we really need a hand from the different sectors like the government, the civil society, and the individuals who actually have the capability to just chip in to help a young girl or a woman to actually be comfortable during their menstrual health.
All right, thank you so much, Zahara, for coming on. And it's important for us to learn. Don't say that does not concern me. No. Share this video. We'll share it on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's change the world for the girls. All right. That's it for the Kickstarter conversation. We'll be coming back with so much more. Don't move a muscle.